Hey, it's Lisa with LA Savings, and I'm going to try something a little different today. I'm going to try a recipe using some of the free items I've gotten over the past couple months. These two items, the Jif salted caramel hazelnut spread and the Mocha Cappuccino hazelnut spread, have been sitting in the pantry for a while, so I figured I'd try out a recipe. Never done it before, but we're going to go through it and see how it comes out. I'm going to try a double chocolate chip cookie recipe that is stuffed with some with the salted caramel and some with the Mocha Cappuccino. I've never had the products before, but I did taste it right before the video, and the salted caramel definitely has a caramel flavor. The Mocha Cappuccino, very strong if you like coffee. I don't drink coffee, not a huge fan, and it definitely has a coffee flavor to it. Definitely leaves a coffee aftertaste. But I'm going to try both and see how it goes. You can also do this recipe using the Nutella spread. That would work as well, but we're going to try it with these two today. Other ingredients that you're going to need: 2 cups of flour, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/3 cup of cocoa powder, 1 cup of butter softened, so 2 sticks of butter at room temperature, 2 large eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 3/4 cup of sugar, and 3/4 cup of light brown sugar. And then finally 2 cups of chocolate chips. Now for the chocolate chips, I had a bunch of the chocolate Hershey's bars that were another item I'd gotten free over the past few weeks that I wasn't using. So I crushed them up by hand. I just kind of made small little pieces with them. So I did 1 cup of the Hershey's milk chocolate pieces, and I did 1 cup of the semi-sweet pieces. So I did a mixture of milk chocolate and semi-sweet, but you can definitely do 2 cups of either the milk chocolate or 2 cups of the semi-sweet if that's what you prefer. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to mix together all of the dry ingredients. The first step is the 2 cups of flour. We're going to add to that the 1/3 cup of cocoa powder, the half a teaspoon of baking soda and the 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and then finally the half a teaspoon of the salt. And just mix it all together so that it's incorporated. Okay, the next part is we're going to be whipping the butter with the white and the brown sugar. So I'm going to put the butter right into the mixer, and I'm going to add the 3/4 cup of brown sugar and the 3/4 cup of the white sugar. And you have to beat this on medium speed for about 3 minutes until it's fluffy. I'm going to do that, and I don't think you're going to be able to hear me when I turn this on though. Okay, once you have combined the butter with the sugar, you're going to go ahead and add the eggs. They do suggest 1 at a time, so I'm going to do the first one, and then I'm going to mix it, and then I'll add the second. Okay, I'm going to add the second egg, as well as the vanilla extract at this point, and then mix all of that together. Now we're going to incorporate the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. You want to just do a little bit at a time, so I'm going to put a little bit into the mixer, and then at a low speed you're going to mix that, and then you'll add a little bit more. Just do a little bit, put it on low. And once that's mixed, we'll add some more. Once everything has been mixed together, we're going to just fold in the chocolate chips, which, by the way, seems like really a lot. I'm just going to do a little bit at a time here and see how it goes. But just kind of fold it in, get them all incorporated throughout the batter. This is a thick batter. And then once I do this, I am going to be putting it in the fridge, let it sit in there for about 1.5 hours or so, get it chilled before you stuff them and then bake the cookies. So I guess I'm going to go with the recipe, put all the chips in and see what happens. Okay, for this part, I am just hyping the salted caramel, and then I'll do the Mocha Cappuccino spread, just in kind of round disc shapes that I'm going to freeze. I have it on top of the parchment paper so it'll be easy to come off. And this is what's going to be put in the center of the cookie. But if it's frozen, or if it's at least chilled, it'll be easier to handle, easier to work with. I could put it right in the center of the dough and then wrap the dough around it. So I'm not sure how big I should make these since this is the first time I'm doing this, but we're gonna kind of experiment. I'm gonna go with this size and we'll see what we think once they're done. So the dough has chilled and I formed it into balls and put it on the wax paper. And all you have to do is kind of make an indent for the filling. I guess you can use a spoon. I prefer to use my hands on this, but you can use a spoon or something to kind of make a little indent, almost like a little bowl for it. And then you're gonna just take one of the drops and put it in the center and kind of just smush it around it, close it all up. I will say that the caramel and the mocha, the hazelnut spread, it's melting. I've been working with this for a little while now, and it's melting quick. So I would recommend maybe taking just strips of the wax paper and putting a couple drops on each one, maybe 4 on each one, so that you can just take out a strip at a time. Otherwise, it really is falling apart. I'm kind of working with it melted here just because I want to be done with this. But you are going to probably have to keep some in the freezer and only take out a few at a time. Okay, so I have all of the cookies stuffed. I did get 24. The recipe is for 30. I think I made them a little bit larger. I wasn't sure how big to go with the filling, but I guess we'll see how it turns out. You should cook them at 350 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. So the cookies are out of the oven now. They spread out a lot more than I thought they would. I don't know if the center is still soft or not, but we're gonna break in and find out together. So it doesn't really seem very liquidy. It does look like it's soft, but it's not gooey. Let's see if I open up another one. Let's try one of the caramel ones over here and see what happens. Like I said, that one's a little bit better. It could definitely be the Jif, or the Nutella might work better. I don't know, but this one's actually pretty gooey. So I guess we have to taste it and see how they are. Okay, now it's time for my cookie tester. I did actually try both of the cookies. The Mocha Cappuccino one, it did not have a very strong coffee flavoring, but it wasn't as gooey. It was good. It had almost like a brownie type texture in a way, but I didn't taste the coffee. The salted caramel one, I personally like better. It was gooier in the center. It had a soft center and a really nice flavor. But let's see what Sean thinks. All right, which one are you gonna try first?
The caramel.
Okay, let's see when you open it. Is there any? It's gooey?
It's gooey.
All right, so that's the caramel one. Need half of it, one bite. What do you think?
That's pretty good. I like that one.
Okay, he likes the caramel one. Now, he's not a huge chocolate fan to begin with, so.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, let's see if this one has any sort of, is it gooey?
No.
No, not
I think
really.
it just blends in more with the cookie.
Yeah, the mocha one doesn't seem to be as soft when you cook it.
Oh, there's some.
A little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do you think?
The caramel one is a lot better. This one isn't bad. I think if I was more of a chocolate lover, I'd probably pick this one. But the caramel is definitely better.
Yeah, I think I agree. I like the caramel one better. They're both good. It's definitely a good recipe. It's worth it to give it a try, especially if you have those two products that you want to use up. But the caramel one is definitely more gooey, and the mocha one kind of cooked into it a little bit more. It's still soft in the center, but not that gooey center that you're looking for. Overall, a good recipe and definitely worth a try.